Are you looking for an amazing crock pot recipe? Well guys, I've got you some amazing ones for you to try that your family is gonna love. Hey friends, my name's Susan and welcome to my home. Today I've got you 4 amazing crock pot recipes that you and your family's gonna love. They're family favorites of ours, so I know they'll be family favorites of yours. So let's get our ponytails up and let's get to making some amazing crock pot recipes. Come on, you know what time it is. It's time to get cooking. And it's early in the morning and I am going to go ahead and put something in the crock pot. I'm going to put 3 chicken breasts, if I can fit them, in the crock pot. There we go. Oh, and I'm making slow cooker Olive Garden chicken pasta. It's really simple, really quick thing to put in the crock pot. 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese and a whole container of Olive Garden Italian dressing. 2 cups is what this is, and that's exactly what's in this container. Those chicken breasts are frozen, and whenever they start to cook them, they will start producing a little bit of fluid. But this will cook on low all day while I'm at work. And then we'll come home and we'll have some amazing food. So I'll see you back whenever I get back from work. I was looking over the recipe and I forgot to add the cream cheese into the mix. I've just gone ahead and got a block of cream cheese and I have cubed it up so it'll be easier for me to distribute over the chicken and the dressing mix. Now we're ready to close up the crock pot. Turn it on low and leave it on while I'm at work. And I came home from work and this is what I found. Now all you have to do is just sit here and separate the chicken up. Get the cream cheese mixture in there and get it all mixed together. Because this is some good chicken. Let me do that and then I'll get it on a plate with some noodles and then we'll be ready for some supper. And if you've never tried this, you've got to. This is so simple and easy and some of the best chicken you'll ever eat. On pasta, beautiful. Makes a absolutely amazing meal. And I am going to make a slow cooker meal that you can do as a freezer meal. We've done it and we love it. And it's going into the crock pot today. I've got a rump roast. You could also use any type of meat you want, but it seems like these do really good in it. And 2 cans of beef consomme soup. Once you get it out of the crock pot, you will need some hoagie rolls and some provolone cheese. But other than that, this is all you need, guys. So let's get it in the crock pot. I'm going to go ahead and put the roast in the bottom of the pot. I didn't ask for Angus roast. I asked for something else, and this is what they got me in my order from Walmart. And then 2 cans of beef consomme soup. Now, whenever this meat is cooking down, it'll make its own juices. But between that and this beef consomme soup, oh, you have a French dip for sure. So let me go ahead and put the lid on this, turn it on low, let it cook all day while I'm going to work. And then we'll have some goodness whenever I come home. And I got back from work today, and this is what I'm looking at. Let me get this shredded up so we can get this on a sandwich for some supper. And look at this. It is just pulling apart. Oh, it's like magic. The top did get a little bit brown because it was out of the fluid. But what I'm going to do is shred this up, leave it in the fluid for just a few minutes so it can rehydrate if it got a little bit dried out, which look how tender and juicy that looks. I don't think it got dried out at all, but I just need to go ahead and get this shredded up. It did have a little fat cap on that one side. I am not going to utilize that, but that can only make it taste even better. So let me let this soak up a little bit of juice, and then it'll be time to get it on a hoagie roll so we can have some French dip sandwiches. And here we go. Here is the French dip sandwich. I've got some provolone cheese on top, the meat in between. It is so juicy. Don't know if you can see all the juice running out from the sandwich into the plate, but that's what I'm talking about. And this was so good. 5 stars for sure. If you want something amazing, this is it. We're about to start a meal in the crock pot. Crockpot Chicken Pot Pie. I'm just doing half the recipe. Didn't think we needed all of it. I've got a couple of biscuits out of a can of Grand's biscuits that I had left over. I'm going to go ahead and use them with this recipe. I got some minced garlic, sour cream, can of cream of chicken soup, a can of mixed vegetables. I've got my chicken spice, salt and pepper, onion powder, thyme, rosemary, and 2 big old frozen chicken breasts. So let's go ahead and get all of this into our little crock pot. The first thing we're going to add in is, of course, the chicken breasts. They go in the very bottom. Oh, and I forgot to lay out some chicken broth, some bone broth. So I'm just going to be using some regular broth. I forgot to put that in the lineup too. I'll show you here in a minute. I'm going to put in some minced garlic. Like I said, I'm just halving in this recipe. The mixed vegetables are going in next. A little bit of onion powder. A little bit of rosemary and thyme. Now the thing that makes it really good, my homemade chicken spice. Get some of that in there. I'm going to go ahead and add in the chicken broth that I just made up and the cream of chicken soup. Now I am going to go ahead and try to get this dispersed a little bit, because whenever that chicken does cook, of course it's frozen, it will produce some fluid on its own. So that will take care of that. And a little bit of salt and pepper. Because that chicken broth does have quite a bit of sodium in it. So I've got everything in. All we've got to do is set this on low for 8 hours. And then when we come back, we'll be ready to pull some chicken. And then we'll bake the biscuits and we'll have some Crockpot Chicken Pot Pie. So let's get to putting this on. And I came home from work. And this is what okay, let's release some steam here. And this is what I found. I'm going to pull the chicken out and shred it up. And I'm going to get some biscuits cooked. I'm going to put mine in the air fryer, but you can do the oven if you want to. And then we'll be ready to have some Crockpot Chicken Pot Pie. And when I opened them up, they weren't quite done in the middle as much as I'd liked them. So I opened them up and then put them back in the air fryer. Now, these biscuits are looking good. Let's get it put together. Now we've got some good flaky biscuits. If you wanted to put this in a bowl, you could. I know Danny is not a big bowl person. I'm just going to go ahead and put over the chicken pot pie mixture over top of the biscuit. You could just do the chicken pot pie and put the mixture in a bowl and eat it. But I figure this is going to be the best way to get everything ate. And it smells amazing. A home-cooked meal that's so good and so easy. This is it. And tonight I'm going to be making some slow cooker Cajun red beans and rice. Now if you do it in the slow cooker, which I was going to do it on the oven top, but I decided to go ahead and do it in the slow cooker, it does take 6 to 8 hours. So if you're going to do this during the week, make sure you put it in the morning. This just happens to be the weekend because this meal kind of got put off for a day or two. So I have got some Slap Your Mama, some minced garlic, some sliced andouille, some seasoned red beans, 2 beef bouillon cubes, a Polska kielbasa or smoked sausage, 3 bay leaves, 6 cups of water, 1 celery stalk diced, and of course 1 Vidalia onion sliced up and ready to go in the crock pot. So let's get everything in. First thing we're going to be putting in is the red beans. I have rinsed them, made sure that there wasn't any floaties in it or any type of junk in it, and now they're in the container. The next thing I'm going to put in is the meats. This is the andouille sausage that was already nicely sliced up for me, which made that a little bit easier. And the Polska kielbasa. I'm going to go ahead and add that in. It calls for 2 links. I just did 1. I didn't think we needed 2 links. I'm going to go ahead and add in the beef bouillon cubes. the garlic and the onion and the celery. I'm going to go ahead and give this a little stir around so everything gets well incorporated and down to the bottom. The next thing I'm going to add is the spice mix from the beans. The recipe says to put in 1 tablespoon of Cajun spice mix, but the beans had a spice packet in it. So I'm going to go ahead and use this on here because it smells amazing. I think that would be really good. And I'm going to go ahead and put the 3 bay leaves in. Just to remember, you've got to remove those before you eat them. And 6 cups of water. There's 4. And there's 6. All right. I'm going to put the lid on this, and we are going to cook it on high, which it is, for 6 hours. So let me bring you back in 6 hours, and we'll see what all this goodness is going to look like when it gets fully cooked. And 6 hours later, this is what we come home to. Look at this. Oh my goodness. I don't know how good you can see that. I'm sure that the video does not do it justice. But that is the red beans and the meat. And it said if you wanted it a little bit denser that you could mush some of the beans. I don't think we need to. It looks absolutely perfect. So let's get this plated up with some rice. And this is the red beans and rice dished out. Doesn't it look amazing? Trust me, I done tasted it. It is so good. And so easy, guys. You can't make it too much easier than that. And this is what we're having for supper tonight. A good crock pot recipe is worth 1,000 words or a full belly. That's for sure. I told you they'd be great, and I wasn't kidding. And if you haven't already, press that little button down below and subscribe. Make sure that you press the bell and the all notification so you'll be notified each time I put a video out, because I know you don't want to miss the good food and fun. Until next time, see you then.